Nobody move.
Nobody gets hurt.
I'm Nick G.
I'm Mike D.
And this is Good Cop, Bad Cop. I'd like to thank our sponsors today, Pop McCann Whiskey, smoothest drink in the land. Grab your bottle today at popsmcannwhiskey.com. Also like to thank Friends of Martina White. Visit votemartina.com for more information about the work Martina has been doing as state representative of Pennsylvania. We would also like to thank our sponsor, Beyond Creative. If you're ready to take your online presence to the next level, visit beyondocreative.com or call 267-362-WEB1 to discuss your project. And our title sponsor, AR Law, arjusticenow.com. We fight so you don't have to. Adams Renzi Law. We would also like to thank our sponsor, Morrow Flooring, hardwood, laminate, vinyl, tile, and carpet. You get military and first responders discount. That is Morrow Flooring. You can go to goodcopbadcoppodcast.com. Click on his link for more details. All right, welcome back, Mike D. Got another show.
Nicky G, how you doing?
Made it to our 8th show, maybe, right?
Maybe. I lost count.
Well, we got a good one lined up today. We have Mark DeFrancisco, correct?
Correct, sir.
All right.
Wow, I feel we've already made it past the intro. That's
right?
Perfect. Yeah.
I did it.
Very
and
good.
I'm Italian myself.
Yes.
Disgraceful.
Yes. What?
Disgraceful. I got his name wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's okay.
So this is going to be a very interesting story. It kind of ties in with current events today, with what's going on. The Weather Underground, a violent domestic terrorist group, and a heroic police officer sitting next to me, retired from Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Oh, Cherry Hill. Oh, good. Cherry Hill. Did you know Johnny A-Light down in Cherry Hill?
Johnny who?
Johnny A-Light.
What the hell did he do?
Okay, all right, good.
He wasn't a cop.
No, he was not.
The opposite. He be the opposite.
He was a wise guy.
Was he a bad guy?
Yeah, he was a wise guy. Yeah. He's a Cherry Hill boy. Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah,
not a
no.
name.
Okay, good.
Did you deal with any of the mobsters in Cherry Hill?
Absolutely, because you got to remember, I came on in '78, and the New York mob was down there with the Gambinos. They were hiding money down in Cherry Hill. They owned several homes there. I always said I wanted to.
The big homes too, right?
They were nice big homes, and I always wanted to when they tear them down, go in there and make sure you're looking over the walls, and then go in the backyard with the metal detector. Absolutely. And we also had Philly mob in there as well. I had personal dealings with Joey Merlino.
Okay.
There was a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of bookmaking operations in Cherry Hill.
Did you get along with Joey, or was he just
I had just a brush in with him real quickly. It was at the old Diamond Diner, which is long gone, and him and a couple of his boys were in the back raising hell, and they called, and I showed up, and we had a great relationship with the owner of the diner and stuff like that, and because we ate for free.
Yeah, of course.
No, half price.
All right. Yeah.
But,
cover the cost. You cover the cost.
Right. So, I just went up to him and I said, "Hey, I got to talk to you," and I said, "I appreciate it if we could just go in the back." So we went in the men's room, and I said, "I don't want to do this in front of your friends, and I don't want to do it in front of the diner." He said, "I appreciate that," and he looked down at my name and he goes, "Now I know why you took it that way." And I said, "Well, look, man, you got to knock your shit off, I mean, straight up.
Right.
I don't want to throw you out, but I'm going to throw you out. If there's any more problems, you're gone."
Yeah.
This is like 3 a.m,
Right.
What year is this?
Oh, I bet sometime around 1990-ish.
Okay.
So he's just an upstart too back then. Yeah.
I don't know if he was an
A
upstart.
little bit more than that in the 90s. He rose. Yeah, 90s is where he kind of he stepped into that.
Okay, I don't know.
That was during the
mob war.
Nicky Scarfo. There was a lot of stuff going on.
I think like 8 bodies dropped during that time.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of bodies dropped.
Okay.
I think he got shot like 5 times.
He got shot in the ass, Merlino.
I believe he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got his own podcast right now too.
It's a great.
And he's doing
podcast.
pretty well.
I've seen it, and I look at it, and I'm like, how people? There's a lot of people out there that he affected, and I'll just use that word, affected.
Okay.
And I think, what can they think of when they watch this? It's like, my God,
Yeah.
But he's got
interesting.
He's got iron balls. I give him all the credit in the world.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to stick your chest out and just go with the flow. See what happens.
So what happens? You're in the bathroom with him. Asked him to cut it out, and
and that was that. He saw that I was Italian, and he said, now I know why you approached it that way. And I said, well, I didn't want to just come in and yank you out of the booth and drag you out of the parking lot. But they were, I don't remember everything they were doing, but they were loud and obnoxious, drunk.
Right. Yeah, it's typical.
Right, so you handled it. He just diffuse the situation.
Yeah.
Which is the right way to do it.
Which is the right way to do it.
Well, for that moment it was.
Yeah.
You know, I had good instinct again, you know. So.
Well, so speaking of good instinct,
Yeah.
what was that your claim to fame with the? I don't want to say. I remember Joanne Chesimard.
Joanne Chesimard is also known as Assata Shakur.
Okay.
She killed a trooper named Werner Forster up on the Jersey Turnpike,
Correct.
right, not far from where we're sitting right now.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Not far from where we're sitting
What
right
year-
now. I
what
believe
year
it
was
was in
that?
'79.
Okay.
And she was a part of a group called Black Liberation Army. All these groups were entwined. They were
Okay. Yes. Yes.
offshoots of the old Weather Underground. They were part of a group called the May 19th organization.
Were they connected with the FLAN? So because I don't remember, because I'm a little younger, so I don't quite remember.
That's the Puerto Rican group.
Right.
And they all obviously, I guess, they had their Congress, and they probably sent their own people
Okay.
to
So
figure out
for-
how to screw the United States as many ways as they could.
For our listeners, let's just explain what we're discussing right now is domestic terrorism in the very early 70s, correct? The Weather Underground pretty much was the first real big organization out of that 60s movement.
I'm old enough to remember all this stuff because it was on TV every night, and it went all the way out to the West Coast where you had the SLA, which was the Symbionese Liberation Army. They were the people that kidnapped Patricia Hearst.
Right. Yes.
And that was on. I mean, it was an amazing time because there was all these groups that just kept bombing police stations. And this group that I ended up involved with were the ones that blew up a wing of the Capitol building, which everybody's forgotten about.
Really?
So
But
let's
I never even heard of it.
So yeah, you know what? Most people have it in this day and age, and it does affect what's going on today because one of the person you arrested, which we'll get to, is involved in politics right now. So let's get into the Capitol bombing. Who was the group that did this?
That was the May 19th people. Again, I guess, do I need to be careful? I mean, some people were not indicted because they chose to not indict. Some of the charges that should have been brought against the people that I was involved with ended up not being prosecuted because they were given 58-year prison terms in federal court.
Right.
So the people involved in prosecuting all these other things that they did
just
including this, the people I was involved with were supposedly the people that helped break Joanne Chesimard out of Clinton, New Jersey penitentiary.
Break her out.
They broke her out, and she hasn't been back yet.
She's in Cuba.
Are you serious?
She's still the #1 most wanted
Holy
New Jersey
shit.
fugitive.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
She's in Cuba. Yeah.
There's a lot of
She's
meat
been
on
in
this
Cuba
story.
for a long time.
Yeah.
A lot of meat on this bone.
Yeah.
So we have a domestic terrorist group.
Oh, yeah.
She killed the one you're talking about. Just broke out. Killed a police officer.
Yes,
Correct.
she did.
So she gets arrested, indicted in federal court,
She was convicted. She was sent to prison.
sent to prison. How the hell did she get out of prison? Obviously, we might know.
They broke her out. They actually went in with an armed incursion to the prison and got her out.
What year is this?
78, I would say.
So if Trump goes in, we got a method. It's already been proven.
Right. Yeah. We can get Trump out.
We can get him out.
You know, it's interesting about saying that because I had every hope. You know, Trump's a big Jersey, New York guy, and I had every hope, and he was very pro law enforcement. I was highly disappointed that he did not go to Cuba and say, "Look, you know, this girl's coming home."
Yeah. I'm surprised.
That disappointed me in his first term.
Yeah.
I don't know what. There's things we don't know.
Yes.
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
And
You know what?
if I could sit down with the man, I'd say, Mr. President, please make this one of your priorities.
Right.
All law enforcement.
That's a very.
I wonder
all
if he
over the
didn't.
country.
I
That's a
wonder if
valid
he
point.
didn't actually do that. I wonder if he didn't speak to them because it's not of him to not take those risks. I mean, he went to Cuba, to North Korea, and walked over the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
don't know.
I wonder if there was something else that was, like you say. I would believe that he would have.
Everything has a second and third
Right.
story.
You're
I don't
right.
know what those
Especially when it comes to Trump.
Yeah.
So they go in. Was anyone hurt or killed? So they storm a prison armed,
Yeah,
like a movie.
The Clinton, New Jersey prison.
and we know nothing about. I didn't know about this.
Exactly.
We know nothing about this. It's not discussed.
No one today cares.
No one cares.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
I mean,
unbelievable.
You can ask 95% of the cops on the street today, and they would be like, "What?
It's more
I don't
than
know
that.
what you're talking
They
about."
wouldn't know
Mark.
who Clinton is.
Mark, it's more than that. 99%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know, and I'm well versed
And you
in
are,
this shit.
and there's a lot that went on back then. A lot of people didn't know, and
We could spend an hour or
Just
two
on that
prison
topic.
break. Holy
Yeah,
shit!
yeah.
I'm blown away by that.
Yeah,
so
there's a
in
lot.
America,
There's a lot to unpack here. Yeah.
wow. Okay, so that's part of the group that you end up running into.
Yeah.
That's
So-
the Weather Underground or FLAN?
I did not have personal with FALN. I
Okay.
had with the May 19th.
So who are they? An offshoot of these other groups?
May 19th is an offshoot of Weather Underground.
Okay.
Weather Underground, if you want to say this, was kind of petering out, if you will,
Okay.
towards 1982,
Yes.
1983.
Yes.
They went in another direction, and the direction they went was May 19th.
Okay.
So a lot of those people from Weather Underground were either in prison or dead. Not all of them. There's
Right.
still a few lingering.
Right.
Kathy Boudin, and there's quite a few. of them.
Boudin, that name sounds familiar. Just recent.
Yeah, she's out of prison.
It's recent. Yeah, yeah, that name is familiar.
Yeah. My girl was pardoned, if you will. Her sentence was
Okay.
commuted by
Let's-
Slick Willie. But anyway, we're
Yeah,
getting
let's
ahead of
start
ourselves.
from the beginning.
Yeah. Okay.
So what did they do to start? They blew up the Capitol building, right?
That was one of the many things. They blew up police stations in New York.
The headquarters. They blew up
NYPD.
headquarters.
One of the several of the precinct houses
Yeah.
had gotten bombed.
People died and got injured. Correct?
Yeah, and they were doing all kinds of big armor car robberies and supermarket robberies. They were big cash places
To
back
fund their
then.
terrorism.
Back in the 70s and 80s, everything wasn't credit card, so there was a lot of cash in the
cash,
supermarket.
correct.
So
That
you
is
hit a
everything.
supermarket, you could get
Or a truck.
You could get $100,000.
Yeah.
But the trucks were big on the list, and
Yeah.
that's what they were involved in. The big 1981 Brinks robbery up in Nyack, New York. Again, about an hour from here, or
Yeah,
45 minutes.
yeah.
From
So this is where it kind of ties
here. Yeah,
you in here.
well, a bunch of cops got killed, and Brinks people got killed. There was a big shootout. Some of the bad guys got taken in, but several of them escaped. And the woman I ended up involved with was reportedly one of the getaway drivers. They used white female getaway drivers because the shooters with the automatic weapons were black guys.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're cops.
Yeah,
And you're on
the color.
Yeah. We got a bolo that says black males, blah 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 blah, and they're in a white van. Well, there's a white van, but there's a white chick driving it.
Yeah.
All right.
So for our audience that isn't law enforcement, be on the lookout.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout. That's what you see in movies.
Yeah.
All points bulletin. Be
Yeah.
on the lookout for, and you
Right.
give the flash information of what the suspect would be.
Right.
Yeah.
Just give a little insight there.
So they ended up stopping them, and there was a lot of people got killed.
So that's 1.6 million. That
It was
heist.
a lot of money, man, and they got away with most of it. There was some that they recovered, but they got away with quite a bit of it.
What year is this?
That was 1981. It was either Nyack or Nanuet. I can't remember exactly. The shootout occurred. The bank robbery, the Brinks robbery occurred in one town, and the shootout occurred in the second. 40 years of dead brain cells. So
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
okay.
got it.
Forgive me up there in Nyack. I'm not disrespecting you at all.
No. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
So
How do we wrap ourselves into this one?
that's what I'm trying to figure out how to make this make sense, because there's so many different trails we can go down.
Right.
So the shootout and the robbery takes place in 1981. Now it's 1982, right?
1984 is when I.
1984. Okay,
1980,
so
yeah.
So that's significant. Now,
So
you're
what
talking
happens-
3 years later?
Well, in the meantime, they were going to construction and mining places and stealing dynamite.
Okay. Now, do
Okay.
they know that's them?
No. Well, I don't know. There might be an FBI file that says they figured it was these people.
And back then, there was no
But they-
real
yeah.
There's no
interagencies.
interagency connections and
Nope.
communications. Yeah.
Well, again,
Very little.
There wasn't even cell phones.
Yeah.
There was nothing. So
Yes.
dial phones, and that was it.
Put a quarter in.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
no one's tying this shit together.
Yeah.
No, so they were hoarding explosives. They stole det cord, if you know what detonator cord.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Military,
Yeah.
highly explosive. They were stealing and amassing all kinds of weapons, automatic weapons, machine guns, mini 14s, Uzi. So one day they decided to move stuff down from. They had a safe house, a storage safe house up in Connecticut. They were operating. A lot of them were operating out of Connecticut. I guess somebody felt that it was getting a little warm up there, so they decided to come down and get a storage locker in Cherville.
Gotcha. So warm, you mean
The heat was
law
on.
enforcement
The heat was on.
might be closing in.
The heat
Right.
was on.
Right.
Dude.
Right. Well, they were truly underground. They
Right.
had to move a lot. You know, even back then they had to move
They
a
had to
lot.
move a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the pictures were probably plastered all over, every post office and every time, what's his name, Joe Walsh, come on TV.
Oh yeah. America's. Did they make that America's Most Wanted?
I don't think he was on. I don't think
He
that
wasn't
show
on yet.
existed
He
in,
wasn't
in
on.
'84.
Not yet.
He wasn't on yet.
No.
But if it,
I was a
if
child.
it did, he would have.
I was a child.
Yeah, that would have helped. boy, I'll
Yeah,
tell you.
yeah. It would have, yeah. So
Okay, so now we're in 1984.
Yeah.
You're just out on patrol.
he's 6 years on the job. He came on in
Yeah, that's right.
78.
I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now he's 6 years into the job.
Veteran.
I got sent there because the manager of a public storage place said that a woman had used ID to rent a locker, and there was some confusion when he tried to reach out to that person, and that person that was used on the driver's license said, "No, my driver's license had been stolen."
Oh, okay.
So he called the police, and I get sent, and that's all the information I have. There's nothing more. And I get there. There's a car and a U-Haul trailer, and
At the storage locker in question.
at the storage locker, but it was a interior locker. In other words, they were
Gotcha.
completely surprised to see me because some of those lockers are down like a hallway,
Yes.
and then you go left or
Left
right.
or right, yeah.
So I pull up, I look at the car, I look at the trailer's still full of a lot of stuff. I walk up to where I see an open door, peek my head in. Howdy do. It's the local police, and and they were absolutely flabbergasted because they were not expecting.
At this point, you have no idea who they are.
None at all, not even a clue.
So I missed something here.
Yeah.
Why did they call the police?
Okay, because the woman that rented the unit
Right.
used a stolen driver's license.
Good. There's no reason to call the police at this moment.
Right, but when the guy
Went to collect?
when the guy that runs the storage place tried to call that person,
Right.
he may have had the foresight to use the phone book
Okay.
to get a
have no
phone
idea.
number and called. And the woman says, "Oh no, that I did not rent a storage locker there. My license was stolen 3 months ago."
Okay. So my point is, when I'm watching this, I'm going. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying there's no reason for that business person to call those people that number unless I didn't pay my bill.
Right.
That's the only reason a business person would step out.
Yep.
No, that actually wasn't the reason.
So
the,
go ahead.
the reason
That's
was
why I'm asking.
he wanted to reassign them in a different locker.
Okay, here we go.
Dumb-
See, I tried to.
dumb
I was
fate.
getting at something
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, dumb fate. Holy
Dumb
shit.
fate, dumb luck.
Right.
And, so, even with that information, I don't have probable cause to arrest anybody because, I'm relying on third party.
It's a business transaction.
Maybe somebody made a mistake.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to kind of see what was
Reasonable
going on.
suspicion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I look in and what I'm about to tell you happened in a matter of seconds.
Sure.
Okay. But it has to
It's
be
like a
told-
gunfight.
It happened in a matter of seconds. I look, and just like I'm looking at the two of you, I see two people. They both look like they're wearing wigs. And I'm like, what's with this dude with the wig? Like the woman maybe, but what's up with that? What's the matter? Simple banter,
Right.
I didn't show any alarm. I didn't have any reason to be alarmed.
Right.
But now I'm standing there, I'm looking, there's stuff piled over here.
Okay, so you're not thinking terrorism and terrorists at all. It's not, even close.
Not even close to
Right.
arrest at this point.
No, you're just being inquisitive.
It's a suspicious incident.
Yeah.
It's about the most
You're
of it.
inquisitive.
But I look down the floor and there's a pile of tubes. And the tubes are about this big around, if I recall them correctly, crimped on the end. They look like salami in the deli case.
Right. Okay.
I'm serious. That's
I believe
exactly
it.
what they look
I
like. And I'm thinking,
Italian guy.
What?
Getting hungry.
I'm like, you're gonna
It's
make me a
lunchtime.
sandwich.
It's
Get some
lunchtime.
gabagool.
I'm gonna get this woman to make me a sandwich.
I like it.
So I'm like, what the hell? And I look, and I'm looking from an angle, of course, and I see one of these orange rectangular placards on the
Oh, shit.
It's like danger.
Yeah, explosives.
well, it says blasting agent. Okay. All right, I know that sounds obvious to us,
No.
but
No, not at that point.
having
No.
having no exposure. When you're trained in the police academy, there's no blasting agent label
No.
put across your desk saying, if you see this, it's. I'm thinking,
call the bomb
Same
squad.
one- Now, with all these damn TV shows, people just think automatically like,
Of course you
you're
should have known
CSI.
that.
well,
You see the oh shit, you know,
what did you think?
formulas in your head.
Without what I just told you, what would be your idea of dynamite back then? Well, to me, Wile E. Coyote
Yes.
has
A
a
red
stick,
stick with a long
with
fucking
fuse.
A clock on it.
It doesn't look like salami. You know what I'm saying? Is this salami, agent?
Yeah.
What's it say?
It's dangerous salami. Be careful.
Very
It's
dangerous.
bad for your heart.
And I'm engaging them in small talk. And the guy goes over and he sits down on this clothes hamper. And I was like, all right. He said, keeping my eye on his hands and watching her. She's got a long coat on. I said, I appreciate if you keep your hands out of your pockets.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her, I said, we have to go up to the office and figure out what's going on.
It's like a dispute.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know.
Meanwhile,
but
these are two dangerous people.
I keep looking down at this stuff here, and I stepped in a little further because I wanted to see it from a better angle. Because, you know, I could have been misreading. My head could have got away from us.
All right.
I'm saying blasting agent. What the F is?
It must be construction people.
Yeah.
Well, no, I still, because it's so weird looking.
Right.
I had no idea what slurry was. That's exactly what this stuff was.
Okay.
What slurry is dynamite that's in liquid, like gel form,
Okay.
that's pushed into the cracks of mountains.
Right.
Did you learn something today?
Yes.
Listen,
Okay.
keep going.
I had never
I'm
heard of
becoming
this.
a blasting
I-
expert.
I didn't know what the hell slurry was. So it's in that form so it can get into the cracks
Yeah.
and they blow it up.
Right.
All right. So
That's what she said.
Yes.
yeah.
Blow that up.
Get it in the crack. So I'm like, man, you know, something's up here, dude. This is something weird. And I asked him for his driver's license. He hands me a driver's license. I said, okay, and it was a fake driver's license. I didn't know it at the time, but I said, what's your date of birth? And, you know, on the license, it says, you know, January 15th, whatever. And he goes, July 12th. And I went, okay, yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
But I said, I'm just going to hold on to this for a minute. That's when I knew I had some
Something-
bullshit going on.
Something's
Yeah.
going on.
Okay, pardon me if I'm...
No, bullshit meters.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah,
hell,
yeah.
that's okay now. I'm just being real. So, you know, I'm like, all right, something's up. I didn't have a backup at the immediate time, and I thought to myself, well, how am I going to separate these two? Blah, 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 blah. Finally, guy shows up who,
Back up.
I hate to say this, but every police department,
Has a toad.
you were a Philly cop. Every police department has a guy who is the last person on
You
earth
want to show up.
you want to show up as
We,
your backup.
we called them toads. So yeah, Toad showed up.
All right, well, he showed up.
So it probably only gets worse from here.
I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to blow
That's
it up.
okay.
That's not why I'm here.
That's
No,
okay.
that's
but
fine.
but
yeah.
this is this first time I've ever spoken of this. Okay, I never said this in court. I never said this to anyone. But this actually is what really
Right.
happened. Why did I find this out? Because it came out of testimony, if you will, a statement that this guy gave. That all right. So I leave. He shows up. I don't want to tell him anything because we used to call him thermometer head. If he'd get excited, his head would turn bright red. So I'm like, oh, Jesus, it's Squeaky. That's what the name we called him. And I said, look, I'm taking her up to the office. Stand here, watch him. Don't let him out of your sight. Don't let him out of your sight. Now, you can see, I don't speak.
Yeah.
I'm assertive.
Yeah.
So take her up. And when I get to the office, I call. Things are going through my head now. Now I'm starting to kind of get on maybe a bit of a terrorist thing.
Right.
The day this happened, in roll call, before I even got to this place, a guy was sitting in roll call, a police dispatcher, with a Reader's Digest from that month that was published, and it had a story in it about all these wanted terrorists.
Oh shit! These people. Wow.
These people, and I'm looking over his shoulder, and I'm looking because I was always fascinated with the SLA and all these good. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Let me read it when you get to. Well, now the watch commander started talking, so you got to shut up. That was the last of it. Turns out her picture of this woman was in that book.
Wow. Did you say it or no? You just
I
missed
can't say I saw it.
Yeah, gotcha.
But you had the book.
He had the book.
He
and
had the
I'm
book.
looking over his shoulder. That's how weird this is.
That's
The author, when the author of that story found out that story, he went crazy. He came and interviewed me, and
That's awesome.
he did a big follow-up story. So anyway,
Unbelievable.
yeah. So I told him, I said, I wish I could tell you that you helped me arrest this girl, but it just all fell into place like this. So I take him up to and I'm thinking, from what I recall from all these stories about these terrorists, sometimes they have people sitting on the outside,
Right.
another team, and they're sitting out maybe on the highway, and they're listening.
correct.
They're listening to a police radio. So it's like, I'm going to call on the phone. So I called on the phone,
Very smart.
and I told the dispatcher, look, this isn't a drill. Okay. I said, I need a supervisor here immediately. And I said, I would have 4 or 5 other guys call in to get instructions to come here. Don't dispatch them over the radio.
Right.
I'll tell you, that's very, very smart, Mark.
Yeah.
Not a lot of cops would have done that.
Precocious? Would that be the right word?
I don't even know what that word means.
Well, I was thinking on my feet that day, thank God. And that's why I'm here to tell
That's
the story.
pretty damn smart.
So, of course, the dispatcher's like, what's going on? He's a dope.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Not
look,
shocking.
just please do what I ask and get a supervisor out here right away. So I go back to the bin. And I confirmed that it was a stolen license. So that
Okay.
gave me PC probable cause to lock her up. So
Right.
now I can at least lock her up. So now she's locked up. Search her, nothing. And I asked her if she. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself again. I'm sorry. Before I took her to the office, I took her outside, and she goes, there shouldn't be any problem with my ID. And I said, well, you have any other ID? She said, yeah, I do. It's in my purse. And we were right next to her car. The door was open. There, I can see the purse. I'm from here to, maybe 4 or 5 feet away from the purse. She's 3 feet from the purse. And she goes, let me get the other ID. And she reached in to get the purse. And some bird on my shoulder said, dude, don't let her get the purse.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
No, no.
And I just said, I reached in, I grabbed her arm, and I could tell she was trying to forcefully get to it. And I was like, whoa. I pulled her out of the car. I said, get in the police car.
Did you put cuffs on her at this point?
No,
Okay.
because I hadn't confirmed the stolen. I didn't have enough yet. I did, but I didn't.
You were just moving. You were moving. You were making shit happen.
Well, lots happening in a hurry. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So I put her in the car, take her up, confirm that it's stolen, ask for the troops to be sent, ask for the supervisor, lock her up, bring her back in the car. Okay? I get to the hallway, and the door's closed to the bin. And there's
Simple.
the other cop.
Simple.
And where's the guy?
He's standing there,
Okay.
and I said, what happened? And he goes, I don't know. I said, what? The door was open. Why is it closed? So I said to the guy, not the cop, I said to the guy, the bad guy, you have a coat? He goes, yeah. I said, where is it? Is it in the car? He goes, no, it's in there. I said, go in and get it. I still hadn't told him he was locked up.
Right.
He opens the door. Thank God. He opens the door. Because now I'm back in the bin.
Yeah. You don't need a warrant.
Because I have to stay with him. I go in, I look down, I see blasting agent. I'm like, this is some serious shit.
Shit.
It was 740 pounds of serious.
Damn.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
And the clothes hamper that he was sitting on had, I believe, 21 weapons in it, including a couple loaded machine
Guns and shit.
It was ready to go.
Yeah.
Thank God they did not rent one of the units that had open, like a garage.
To the street.
Yeah.
To the street. Yeah.
They would have seen me coming. They could have
Sure.
armed
Made a
themselves.
move.
They could have made a move and armed themselves. I'd probably been long
They
gone.
would have.
Long gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did she have it? Okay, I'm sorry to ask this. Did she have a weapon in that pocketbook?
She had 2.
Okay.
And they were both with Teflon bullets. One was a Browning high power.
So that would have went through your. Were you wearing a vest?
I don't know that in '84 I was wearing a vest.
Probably
Probably
not.
weren't. I didn't.
I was guilty. I didn't wear a vest in 2000.
Yeah, I didn't wear a vest. Yeah.
So handcuff him, and I'm thinking of this. What did this idiot do? My guy, my coworker.
Yeah.
how did he let this guy go back and close this bin?
Yeah.
Because we were actually away from the bin.
Right.
When I told him, don't let him out of your sight.
Right.
I'd like to thank our sponsors today, Martina White. Friends of Martina White can visit votemartina.com for more information about the work Martina's been doing as a state representative in Pennsylvania. And let me tell you, Mike, she's a big supporter of police. She backs the blue. She's a proven fighter for families, women, everybody.
Is she a patriot? Is she America first?
Absolutely. She encompasses, the American spirit for sure. We have a big population of listeners in Northeast Philadelphia, Southeast Pennsylvania, which would be her area. So you can check her out.
Has
Vote
she
Martina.
been in? I'm not familiar with the Philly district. Is she new to the scene, or is she, looking for re-election?
She'll be up for re-election in a couple years, but she's been around for a while. She has a proven track record.
Okay.
You can check her out. Her record really speaks for itself, especially when it comes to fighting for everyday citizens and backing the blue.
It's nice to have someone back in the blue. I mean, the officers are out there risking their lives every day, and with little pay and little appreciation in today's environment, it's been very difficult. And as you know, being a Philadelphia guy,
Unfortunately, that's something that's not common. Should be. It used to be a time where both sides of the aisle agreed on law enforcement, and that's something that's completely lacking. But with Martina White, she steps up to the plate, always has our backs, and does what's right.
great. Good luck with Martina.
Yeah, you can get more information at votemartina.com. I'd like to thank our title sponsor of the show, Adams Renzi Law, AR Law. They can be found at arjusticenow.com. And just to let you know, I know both of them personally. Christy, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, total sweetheart, absolute pit bull in the courtroom. And Nick Renzi, he's a South Philadelphia guy, true and true, neighborhood man. He's for the people. He helps people out down in South Philly, all around Philadelphia.
Their offices in South Philly itself?
Yes, their office is in right around South Philly, Center City, right on the
Do
border.
they handle
there.
a lot of criminal cases?
They handle everything, absolutely.
Are they on call 24/7 for someone who might take a pinch somewhere?
Why, you might be taking
Well,
a pinch
I mean,
that we know about?
you never know. I mean, wherever you show up, you got to be ready.
Well, you can keep their card on you.
Well,
Or go to their
well,
website
well,
and
good,
call
good.
them up.
Will they give me a deal since they're sponsors of the show?
You might get a percentage off. I'll have to talk to her.
Okay. Yeah.
If you used them a few years ago, you might have not have gotten 14 years.
Well, that's another story.
Another story for another time.
That's right.
Again, AR Law, check them out. arjusticenow.com. We would also like to thank our sponsor, Beyond.0. In today's world, your business is practically invisible if you're not online. With so many options for marketing your business, it's easy to get confused. That's where Beyond.0 Creative steps in. They have the expertise to help you with all of your marketing needs. Need a website that wows visitors? They'll build it. Want to reach more customers with Google Ads? They'll make it happen. They'll even manage your social media so you can focus on what you do best. Beyond.0 Creative is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and Google Premier Partner. They're the real deal. If you're ready to take your online presence to the next level, visit beyondocreative.com. That's BIONDOCREATIVE.com or call 267-362-WEB1, Web 1, to discuss your project now. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Morrow Flooring, hardwood, laminate, vinyl, tile, and carpet, military first responder discount. You know, Tommy, we had him as a guest on a podcast. You can get your flooring done by a real American hero.
Yeah, and he's on time and on budget.
Yes, he is. He will beat any price. Bring a quote, an estimate, whatever you have. Tommy will beat it, 100% guaranteed. You have our backing on that one.
And he'll be there himself.
Absolutely. You can get a real American hero do your flooring for you.
I'm going to jump forward to explain that real quick and then go back to what happened. A year later, in a taped statement this guy gave, the bad guy,
Right.
they asked him what happened, and he says, oh, well, the cop was cold. Said he was cold, and he went to his police car to get his coat.
You.
Not
No.
me.
Oh.
The cop left the fucking guy.
Oh,
He left him. He left him.
Are you kidding me?
He left him and went to his car and got his. It was November 29th. It was cold out, and he didn't have his coat on right away. So he was cold standing there. He went to
Holy
his
shit.
and the guy went back and closed it.
And he didn't fucking shoot the place up, this guy. That's
You guys are really lucky.
You know, and you know, I had to put up with this guy getting the same awards I got.
Yeah.
And all that. No, I'm dead serious.
no,
I'm saying this for the first time in public.
Oh my God.
And I don't care now. It's been 40 years. I have to tell the
bury
truth.
this shit.
The truth is the truth is the truth. And I was so goddamn mad, but so thankful that this guy didn't have the guillons to go in there
and get his weapons out
and pull something out of that hamper,
Yeah,
because he
absolutely.
easily could have done
No,
that.
Of course he could have.
Yeah.
So he was almost humanistic, this guy, that didn't take you guys out.
Well,
I hate to say that about a terrorist.
The only thing on his sheet at that time was he had thrown lye in the face of a cop at Kennedy Airport.
You're lucky it wasn't someone else.
So lucky it wasn't her,
Right.
Yeah.
because they were the killers.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He was sort of an apprentice.
Right, okay.
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 She was going to
He
shoot
was in
your
for the
ass if she
ride,
got
but
that
he didn't know
first.
where the ride.
Absolutely.
He didn't know where the ride was taking him.
There was no other ID in the purse. There was 2 guns.
That's
There
it.
was no ID.
Yeah.
Here's my
I
ID.
think I got my other ID for you.
Yeah, I got your ID.
Yeah.
You know,
Holy
yeah.
fuck. That
Pop,
would've
pop,
been
pop.
some
That
scene.
would have been that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Man, that's
So I mean,
cold ass bitch, right?
Yeah.
I got them both
Listen.
hooked up, and here comes a supervisor. I don't want to cut you out, but I just
No,
wanted
no.
to say this because then we can get into whatever else you want to go.
Yeah.
But here comes a police car, and I got her in the back. I'm sitting in my police car, and I'm starting to get like property receipts and stuff that I, for her personal stuff. I'm starting to line them up on my clipboard just to be able to start getting this stuff ready to go, right? And my supervisor gets out of the car, my sergeant, and I'm not watching him. And all of a sudden, this voice from the back seat goes, "Put the fucking cigarette out."
She's in there smoking.
Okay, the sergeant was. Okay, now we're outside. We're outside, but we're right next to this U-Haul that's still
with the
got
explosives.
half of the explosives.
Oh, shit.
Okay. She screamed. I'm not.
Oh,
and I'm
my
like,
God.
I went, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "What?" And I said, "I'm not smoking." She goes, "He is."
Oh, my God.
And you got. But this is a funny anecdote about it. This guy's no longer with us. He was a good guy. He was an old salt guy.
Yeah,
like
old salty sergeant.
A guy who came on in the 50s, or you smash somebody in the head with the IBM typewriter.
Yeah, it's all good.
He was one of them guys.
He hit the door.
And he comes up and he goes, I said, "Kel." His name is Bobby Kelly. I'll use his name because I'm not saying anything
And he's pissed.
disparaging.
And he's pissed.
Rest in peace, Bob.
Bobby, yeah, he's a great guy. I said, "Kel, put the fucking cigarette out." And he goes, "What? And he was a career smoker. No, you didn't take his cigarette.
No, that's.
What's your fucking problem? I'm like, "Pop, put the fucking cigarette out. There's explosive cigarette."
Liquid, too. Much more flammable.
Looks like salami.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he puts the cigarette out begrudgingly.
Oh, yeah. Because it was all but 50 cents a pack back
Yeah.
then.
Why do I have to put the cigarette out? That's how he talked. Why do I have to put the... And she from the back seat goes, "If you don't want us to all blow the fuck up." Thank you. You
That's
just
an
gave me-
admission.
Thank you.
That's
You
an
just gave
admission.
me- Yeah, you just gave me further probable
Yep.
cause for, we went and did things the right way. We got a search warrant to go completely through the bin, but we knew what we had. We didn't know what but we absolutely knew at this point we had
Did you guys have a bomb squad come out?
Everybody came.
Oh,
The
yeah.
kitchen sink.
Feds.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something. The kitchen sink came. There was so much explosive in that that they would not take it in one single trip across the bridge to blow it up.
Wow.
They were afraid if it blew up on the bridge would come down.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Now, wow. Now, so what's this woman's name?
Her name is
Hold
Susan.
up. This is the shocking part.
Yeah.
This is how we're going to tie this in to current day. So this is a woman who already was involved with blowing up the state capitol, correct?
She was involved in the group. Was
In the group.
Was she
It's
ever
conspiracy.
convicted of it? No.
No. But she's involved in a group that has killed cops, killed civilians.
Broke people out. The New Jersey's most wanted fugitive out of prison. I think that's the number one
Right.
for me.
Was she involved in that, or just the group itself?
No.
Do you know?
The word was that
She was a shooter?
She was definitely a part of that
Wow.
breakout.
She's
There's no
straight up
Yep.
gangster. This
Great, straight up gangster.
She was.
Willing probably to shoot you because you're not going
Absolutely.
to a purse with nothing in it.
No.
With guns. Others
She was going to shoot him.
to
Yeah.
shoot you.
Yeah.
And here we go today. She is.
Her name is Susan Lisa Rosenberg. She's a Jewish woman from New York, Jerry Nadler's district.
That
And,
piece of shite.
Yeah, well, there's a whole reason I'm
And-
bringing these other names up.
So why is that relevant today?
Well, her parents were extremely wealthy, and they were huge contributors to Hillary Clinton's Senate campaign, which in effect bought the pardon from Bill Clinton.
Okay, so what is she doing today, right now?
Okay, well, she was sentenced to 58 years in federal prison, and then after about,
Which is why they didn't bring all those other state
That is
charges
correct.
against her that would have had her in for life anyway.
right. So
Separately.
they did back off of that, and I guess maybe there's some witnesses that weren't still alive and things like that. So they just said, "Look, we got her. She's 58 years. She ain't going nowhere. Federal prison, you're done.
Done. It's over.
And she was in the big
85% time.
She was in the
she's
big
done.
big
Yep.
house.
For the sake of time, because we could spend a lot of time with this. Because of you and this arrest, she gets sentenced to 58 years.
Yeah.
Now, this is where the really interesting part comes. It's all interesting and crazy
Right,
and wild. The smoking thing, you're all going to blow me the hell up, is hilarious.
Yeah.
So 58 years she gets assigned. This is what, 1985 probably?
Yeah.
Year later, 58
right.
years. Okay. So what happens in 1990, 1991?
Well, Bill Clinton pardoned her on his last day in office, set her free.
Unbelievable.
And the justification for that was that it was merely a weapons case. Doesn't matter that she had every intention of getting those guns and killing
Kill
me.
you.
That's one.
Because she didn't kill me, set her free. She's good. She's not a bad person.
She didn't kill you.
Right.
But how many other people were involved in their deaths?
Well,
Blown up a city block, a bridge.
you want to light the room on fire. Bring the NIAC cops down here. The families of those people that lost lives.
Yeah.
Bring those people here, and they'll just tear the room into shreds because they were so upset about that. I was lucky. I was
Right.
very lucky. I actually said to her in the police car, I said, I don't know why it just came out of my mouth. I just said, I'm having a hard time understanding how I didn't get killed today. She goes, well, I guess it's your lucky day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, so today, fast forward, she was somehow, well, you know who runs all these universities and things. She got hired as a instructor or what have you for different colleges.
She's teaching. This is the indoctrination of our college kids. This is what we're seeing.
Because of the protests, most of those positions she got removed from. She wasn't there more than a year at any of them, as far as I know.
And what year is this? In the 90s?
Yeah, I guess after she got pardoned.
Okay. Unbelievable.
And then, out of left field comes George Floyd.
We spoke about that on the other page.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And next, here comes Black Lives Matter. And you say, what the hell would that have to do with Susan Rosenberg? Well, I would have never known, except that it came out on the front page of the paper where she apparently is strategically involved in fundraising for them.
She's wealthy still, correct?
Well, I'm sure her parents are no longer alive. She would be in her, well, I'm 60. I'll be 68 in a week. She's probably my age.
Okay.
So her parents are probably no longer alive. I'm sure she inherited quite a bit. And she's been behind all kinds of causes for people like FALN, as you had mentioned. Anybody that they consider a political prisoner. She considered herself a political prisoner. Wrote a book on her horrible, horrible existence, irrespective of the fact that she caused horrible, horrible existence for many families, cops and stuff.
So, an interesting point. You said political prisoner. We just discussed on our previous episode. Again, whatever the left accuses the right of, they are guilty of that accusation.
Yeah.
They have the political prisoners.
Yes.
They were not political prisoners. They
All
are
the January
criminals.
6 people are political
Yes,
prisoners.
political prisoners.
Absolutely. 100%.
And again, once again, it's just it's a joke.
So, and here's where I always, it has nothing to do with racism. It has everything to do with where's the BLM headquarters? Where is their executive campus? Where are they based out of? Show me the offices. Where are they? There are none.
Well, they got mansions.
They shylocked billions of dollars from corporate America, the NFL, Pepsi Cola, every entity,
DEI,
everything. They took billions of money. Name one black community that has benefited from that collection of the money.
No, they're under fire for it.
Name one city in America that they burned down, that the BLM came in and funded the rebuild of the city.
and rebuilt it.
There's not one, and it's like they're all living, out in the Hamptons.
Yeah, well, the one lady, the head of it, is being indicted, I believe. She bought 6 mansions, millions of dollars, with the money that they
can't even begin to enumerate the crimes that they commit on a daily basis.
So this
and
offender,
they're a protected class.
Remember,
There's no question.
the Clintons, again. It's amazing how the Clintons are always around.
They started this
around corruption and dirtiness.
If it wasn't for, and a little side story to that is that, not long after after she was pardoned, Bill Clinton, of course, went out on a speaking tour, which I don't blame him. All ex-presidents do.
Of course.
And he was getting $100,000 or $150,000, to show up somewhere and speak for 45
one day
minutes.
we will. So just so you know.
Well,
absolutely.
So,
we are available for speaking engagements.
Surprisingly enough, the town that I almost got killed at, because of my, again, it's not easy to pat myself on the back, but because I had decent instincts that day and did not get killed, because of that, I'm alive to tell the tale. I did not get killed. The town that I almost the town that I did not get killed in,
blow up in.
Someone hired Bill Clinton at $150,000 to come speak in Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Now, I wrote editorials to the Philadelphia Inquirer, the Carrier Post. They were rejected, of course, because
you lean the wrong way politically.
I don't have to tell you who runs the political landscape in that county. Right. So,
Murphy, was it Murphy?
Oh, yeah.
Murphy's the governor.
With his nasty ass English teeth.
So,
you ever see those things? My God.
So I tried to get a ticket to attend because I was going to.
I would have been.
Oh, wait a minute! You tried it. What happened?
Oh, I called the Clinton headquarters because I wanted to have a sit down with them. I wanted to have give me 20 minutes of your time.
Okay.
I tried to be respectful.
There's no way.
He's too busy. He doesn't want to talk to you. Okay. So I was going to show up at this thing. I was told by the Secret Service that I was not welcome.
You're not welcome.
I'm not welcome.
Shocker.
Yeah, because I was going to go right up to him.
Right.
Yeah. Start yelling and screaming. Yeah. I can get myself arrested by my own cops.
Yes.
And I went to my, the police department and said, "You're going to supply security for this clown?"
Yeah.
Yeah, they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. The Clintons, God, it's amazing how much dirty shit they're tied up in.
I knew they weren't going to do anything to back me because every one of them. I mean, I was approached by people after this event. I thought I would get some sort of a field promotion. Something, a field promotion. And I was told that
you should get a commendation at least. Officer of the month.
Yeah, I got a commendation, big deal. But I should have, got a promotion.
They just took 750 pounds.
It was the best
liquid explosives.
It was the best good publicity that town has ever received before or since.
Yeah,
I mean it sincerely.
They did a hell of a job.
They gave me some good. They gave me nothing.
Yeah,
and I'm telling you,
they're lucky to let you out with your pension.
Yeah. Well, and I was approached, and they said, we'd like to promote you, but we got a little problem. I said, what's the problem? Oh, you got an R next to your name.
Yeah,
are you
absolutely?
Serious?
I said, so that's when I knew the gig was up. I almost got killed but the only thing that really matters
was the R.
So I said, well, and this person said. Very high-ranking person said, "This conversation didn't take place." And I'm like, "Well, wait, what?"
That's even worse. He shouldn't even have told you.
What the hell's coming then? I'm waiting for I'm thinking they're going to promote me, and they tells me this conversation didn't take place. We okay?
Yeah, so
when he says to me, "Oh, you got an R next to your name." I said, "What, retard? What am I, retard?"
Yeah. Oh, you can't say that today.
So what's the R stand for?
That may get us banned.
What's the R stand for our audience?
Republican, of course.
There you go.
I mean, big deal. So
different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. Well, wrong letter in Cherry Hill or Camden County, New Jersey. I'm just saying it how it is. Right. Anybody there that's pissed off, too bad.
Yeah.
Come and get me.
Thank you.
So
he has the same attitude I have now.
Well, I said to that high-ranking person, that's the criteria here? Are you serious? After what I just went through? And I said, well, I'll tell you what. If this conversation didn't take place, you can go F yourself.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because we didn't take place.
So when I
And
when
from
I
that
worked,
day on, I had a target on my back.
Of course, they
Yeah.
went after you then, that's for sure.
Yeah.
so Philadelphia has been Democratic for decades. So when I worked, I had a D next to my name because of that reason.
Did you? Yeah.
Yep. I was a registered
Well,
Democrat. I had to be.
If I'd have been smart, and I wasn't, because I have a valid.
God
end to my-
forbid.
I had a valid end of my name, like we all do.
Yeah.
If I'd have been smart and not temperamental, I would have said, if that's what it'll take, I'll change my
I'll go-
registration.
Yeah, I'll go
And
switch for you.
6 months later, I could have changed it back. What are you going to demote
Yep.
me?
Right, yeah.
But like a moron, I did what I did. So what are you
Yeah,
going to
that's
do?
it. Italian temper. I
Yeah.
get it.
Keep banging your head on that same wall.
It got me, man. It really got me. I was fresh from really some serious like PTSD over that.
Yeah.
So this major domestic terrorist, again, the federal government has been labeling parents concerned about books.
And having their children's gender taken
Yes.
from them or hidden from them
There's
in
books
school.
about graphic sexual detail for grade schoolers, and the feds are labeling them domestic terrorists,
Right.
parents. Here's, again,
You mean the
whatever
Johnny
they're-
takes it up the
Yep.
ass books in
blow
school?
jobs, all
Yeah.
that stuff in
Okay.
books. It's in
Yeah.
books,
Yeah.
illustrated. Whatever the left accuses the right of, they are guilty of that themselves. And it just continues to play out.
It's
100%.
It's a terrible world.
I'm going to continue to beat that in everybody's head because it's the truth. And here we have a domestic terrorist, guilty,
Well-
and she's out now,
Oh yeah.
and she's fundraising for a domestic terrorist
She's
organization.
got more money than all of us.
She's back at it.
Yep.
She's got more money than my paltry pension.
Unapologetic.
Yep.
Ongoingly.
Who's gonna kill a cop.
Implacable, intransigent, continuing to do what she did back in the 70s.
Could have blown up a city block with all that damn dynamite. And liquid dynamite is highly, highly dangerous.
Oh.
Much
Yeah,
more
that's
than
why
in a
she
solid
panicked
form.
when the
Yeah.
cigarette shot. I mean, come on.
I mean,
you can't light a dynamite stick with a cigarette.
It's almost out of like
I
a,
almost
Abbott
jumped through the
Costello
windshield when
movie.
she started screaming. I mean, she was like deathly scared
Yeah.
and scared the living.
She didn't
Jesus
want to
out of
die. She'd kill you in a second.
I'm like, what? I'm like, what?
Yeah, that
I'm not
liquid-
smoking. I'm not. And she goes, he is. And I'm like,
See,
oh, jeez.
This is where you made a mistake. If you would have just handed her a fork and a knife, her instincts would have kicked in. She would have started making a sandwich. Then you could have just locked her up right away. I'm kidding, ladies.
It was dinner time.
Don't cancel me. I'm joking.
I actually was a little mad. I got the call because it was around dinner
Yeah, I
time.
hate that.
That
I
is
hate
the
that.
worst.
That
Interrupt
was.
me.
The worst is when you're sitting down eating, you
Yeah.
gotta run.
Nah, that don't
Tell
happen.
the waitress,
Yeah, it was.
say that.
Yeah. All good, though. Thank God it all
Well,
worked out. in the end.
I have to say this before we're going to get ready to close. I grew up in the era of this as well, and I was a little younger, so I didn't quite understand the magnitude of it. Plus, I was getting ready to graduate high school. I was busy trying to
Yeah,
get
you didn't give a
laid,
shit
trying to
about
get
that,
laid.
yeah.
But it was definitely, it was always something in the back of our minds in that era. So I'm 63. So it was always something that we always remember hearing about it. Always the name Joanne. So when I said to him,
Yeah.
"You mean the Joanne Chesimard situation?" He never knew who Joanne.
I didn't know who she was.
He didn't know who she was. Now,
Yeah.
could you imagine a
No.
guy that was in law enforcement didn't know who Joanne
I
Chesimard
don't even know
was?
if they bring her up in police academies
No,
anymore.
they don't.
I'm
But
sure.
they did when I went through.
Yeah.
And I was 82 when I went through.
Well, I mean, it was fresh then.
yeah, sure.
I don't know. Just don't understand what's going on. They're more
No one knows
they're
about
more
that.
worried about teaching cops today about,
Diversity, equity, inclusion.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
it's a joke.
Yep.
Again, we're available for speaking engagements to police academies to teach these young kids the dangers of corruption.
And you know damn well I'm good at that.
Yes, you can go on our website.
What, a
check us out.
corruption?
Yes.
He did 12 years in federal
That's what-
prison.
when I first sat down at this table, I felt like I was in IA again. I'm looking for the hidden mic under the table.
You'll be safe here. We were not with
I'm
that.
like, wait a minute, 40 years of statute of limitations is up. I
You're
can
good.
say what the hell I
Yeah,
want.
you're good.
You're good.
So I once had a job with IA. I got a phone. We have Impact, which is almost entrapment. What they do now is internal affairs, and you have the Impact Unit, internal affairs, which they entrap cops. So I got a call that
Oh,
there's
you mean like Comey did to Flynn in the fucking
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
White House? Yeah.
I get a call, suspicious character looking in cars, blackmail this and that. So I pull up and he's there and he's overacting and looking in the windows. And I'm like, come here, dude. What are you doing? Oh, I'm waiting for my girlfriend. Well, why are you doing this and that? And, I didn't even get out of the car. And I said, all right, dude, just be normal if you're waiting for your girlfriend. Stop looking in windows. Go hang out over there. Go get something to eat. We good? He goes,
Just
yeah.
a tourist.
So he goes to walk away. I say, yo, what about that watch? He goes, what about my watch? He thought I was going to say, take it. I go, I got the same one, dude. How much did you get yours for? So we bullshit on that for a couple minutes, and then 2 days later, roll call. Oh, you passed your impact test. So that was a cop.
Oh, they were
trying to see if I was going to shake them
They
down.
were setting you up.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I had them hand me wallets with money in and shit and run away.
Cops that go into the calls that come out, and it's pouring rain, but there's a dry brown bag with $10,000, and it's sitting next to the cop car.
Yeah, don't test me with that.
Yeah,
Don't test me with 10 grand.
We had
okay?
some hotels in Cherry
I'm
Hill
failing
that
that
were no-tell motels. The garbage, it was a lot of money that was recovered in those rooms because all the garbage of America was staying there.
Right.
Every time I'd go in on something like that, and there's a duffel bag, and I'm like, Jesus, it's.
Well, you should have
that
called
would
me.
buy me.
You should have called me. I would have held it for
Our
you.
Bought me a nice house, man.
Our moral compass was pointing in the right direction.
Yeah, this was back in the time.
My moral compass is pointing here.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was. Yeah, I know, I hear you.
I
but,
love bags of money. They're really. You have no names on it except Washington, Lincoln, Howard Cosell. That it's your money.
I get the temptations.
Yeah, I know it went on. I know guys were driving nice cars that had no business driving.
Exactly.
So let me ask you, the Brinks money,
What's that?
$1.6 million, was that ever recovered?
Some of it was.
Some of the money.
When they had the shootout up in when
Nyack.
they stopped them, yeah. But I don't know. These people were well funded.
Who was funding them?
They were funding themselves with
the bank robberies.
Oh,
Yeah.
They were getting millions.
Again, this Susan Rosenberg was involved in all this, and now she's out fundraising for BLM, probably on the Kamala train.
She's probably out in the Hamptons, like he says.
Yep.
And showing up at
She might
Democratic
actually,
events.
I'm not going to speak for her, but she may not actually be on the Kamala train because she may be on the Palestinian train.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She might be.
Probably.
She might be.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah,
doubt
she-
that.
So,
Yeah.
our listeners, you want to learn more about this, you can Google Weather Underground, Google Susan Rosenberg. There's a lot of meat on this.
Joanne Chesimar.
Yeah. Oh, especially the bank robbery. Shit, we could do a couple episodes on that. I would really love to figure out how the hell they got in. They had to have some kind of insight.
I want to know how they got into Clinton.
Well, they donated.
No, the fucking prison.
No, the prison. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I had to have an inside person.
That's something
So
that
much
there's
shit.
not a lot written about. And if you Google that, there's not a lot written about
I would
that.
imagine there
Shocker.
isn't.
You could probably.
Shocker.
No, I mean, if you went to Clinton, the prison, and, they might allow you to access files. But I guess what they don't want to do is release
How it happened.
how it happened because
Yeah, because it might happen again.
it could happen
I
again.
just need to put an insertion team together
For Trump. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm just, And if we got the guys that work in Rikers, they're with us. So
We're good. We'll call Susan Rosenberg.
Finally, she has some good use.
It's disheartening to see all these people that are out and people that are good people getting convicted of complete nonsense,
Nonsense.
jaywalking the fences and stuff.
It's the communist left.
Here we are.
Once
This is the world we live in now.
So, you got anything going on? You want to plug anything?
Do I got anything going on? Bad knees, gray
hair.
I didn't wear glasses in 1984. No, there's not much going on. I did a lot of stuff over the years. I've had my iron in a lot of different fires.
Yes, you have.
You did some movie stuff real quick. Entertainment.
What did I do in entertainment?
Yeah.
I was a singer for almost 30 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
At local clubs or on your
actually,
label?
it was a little. It got a lot more involved in that. I worked out in Las Vegas for a while. I worked all over every casino there is, and you go, how the hell's this stupid-looking, ugly guy get to be?
You're a
that?
handsome guy, Mark.
I was.
Yeah.
I'm old. And I don't.
Yeah, you and me both.
Other than Clint Eastwood, who somehow at 94 chicks still like.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, it's not easy, but I was actually a tribute artist in several different venues, from Elvis Presley to Neil Diamond to my own work, and I did that for.
So you have a singing voice. Is that what you're telling us?
So they say.
Okay.
So
all right. Well, that's nice to know. That's beautiful.
Full disclosure. One of the,
Like a fool. You want me to serenade? Actually, he knows about all this because I actually did an event for him.
Yeah,
Oh, did he?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I made a mistake and got engaged that night.
Yeah, well,
Mark was there. He did a hell of a job. It was great.
Okay, all
I
right.
couldn't talk him out of the marriage, though.
Yeah, well, you sang for him.
That's all right. I'm no longer engaged.
Amen. Keep that record.
Hey,
going.
been there, done that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, last time for that. But it was excellent. Everyone loved it. It was a great show. Yeah.
well, for a long, long time. I was actually, I won several national contests for doing it.
Okay.
I used to dye my hair black, and when you're made up, with makeup, I can make you look like Rock Hudson.
No, he's dead.
That's what I mean, dead Rock Hudson.
Dead. Yeah, poor guy. He took it up the.
Yeah, no,
He did the hard way.
He got
He took it up the brown side.
he got it in the end.
Yeah.
But,
Sorry, Rock.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rock.
So is there anything you want to send people to, or is that it?
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Do you care? You have any of that stuff?
anybody wants to shake me down, try and come after me for money, I might owe them. I'm on Facebook, Diamond Reno, one word, DIAMONDRENO.
At Facebook, yeah, just search
just Facebook. That's it. Yeah.
Diamond Reno.
Yeah, so I'm on there, and I've kind of brought the performing aspect of my time down because once COVID hit, it killed the entertainment industry. I mean, when COVID hit, I was like 63 years old, and I was like, do I want to have to fight if it ends? Why do I want to fight for the same money I've been fighting for 30 years? And I said, maybe this is God's way of saying it's time to kind of pack that up and put it away. Okay. Elvis was dead at 42.
You beat that.
Well, but I mean, can I still pull off a guy that was dead at 42 with this mug?
Right.
And the answer is,
you did a great job underselling yourself still.
So that's why I started doing Neil Diamond, because he sang until he was 75. So. No, really. So
he remade himself.
I didn't know you did Neil Diamond.
I just changed the mold.
I can see it. I can see it.
What's the
Neil Diamond?
the Neil Diamond song? The one he sang the baseball part?
What? Sweet Caroline.
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, it was very difficult to change. I was always good at imitating voices, so it was always, for me, it was the difference from going from the baritone of Elvis to Neil Diamond, where it's a whole different guy, and
that's good.
But I was able to pull it off pretty well, and people would say, dude, like I think you got the Neil Diamond singing voice down every bit as good, if not better, than your Elvis voice.
So we got a guy that catches terrorists, and now he's a singer.
Yeah,
isn't this amazing?
Well, I'm
a
semi-retired singer.
Yeah, well, listen, we're gonna do a rap party in a couple months for this podcast. We're gonna have you come out and do a Neil Diamond.
Here we go.
Here we go.
You're invited. Mark, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Got it.
Tell the story, my friend.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for your service.
Enjoyed it.
Yes.
Enjoyed it very much.
Great. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks for having you.
This episode is sponsored by AR Law, PA State Rep Martina White, Biondo Creative, Morrow Flooring, and Pops McCann Whiskey.